Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Partridge, and this is a brief introduction to the GameKit version 2.0. The GameKit was formerly known as the Prisomatic GameKit. It's now known as the Virtually Human Investigations GameKit. To begin with, the first thing you need to do is acquire a copy of the kit. You'll find it in your inventory once you've done so under GameKit version 2.0. The first thing in the file folder there, assuming that you've organized your file alphanumerically, is an overview. And just right-click on the overview and choose Where, and a HUD will appear with an overview of the GameKit's functionality. So you can see here, basically we're going to walk you through the GameKit. Of course, it's fast, it's easy, you don't really need to program, and you can quickly create games, basically adventure-style games. Probably the predominant use at this point is for educational adventure games. So you can use the controls along the bottom to navigate through the slide deck to get a better understanding of the kit. The kit is composed of 6 major components. It has a scorekeeper, tokens, traps, puzzles, prizes, and an outcome reporter. The scorekeeper, tokens, traps, and puzzles are all divided into different variations that will help you be able to customize your games to the needs that you may have in your individual use case. So you can see here, a scorekeeper can either be worn as a HUD or it can be worn as an object. So for example, if you wanted a character to wear a badge and that badge we're going to keep the score, then the scorekeeper would behave in one way, printing out information about the current score in the local chat. If you instead had the player wear a HUD, then all the information would be printed onto the surface of the HUD label, and I'll show you an example of that in a second. Likewise, tokens now come in 2 forms, standard and conditional. That's obviously an additional change from the previous version. Now we've added conditional tokens, and I'll show you those conditional tokens and how they operate. The traps come in touch and collision traps, and the puzzles now come in 2 forms as well, the traditional slide boards and a new challenge form which does not use the slides. Prizes, of course, are still there and have been modified and enhanced, and finally an outcome reporter. Some great new features in version 2, including the ability to email results and including note card configuration for all items. So no more need to even open up a script. You can simply change the note card and get your results that way. So the kit contains samples of each of these things. It also links to the URL shown here, http://director-3d.com/quiz. At that URL you will find a quiz maker, which will allow you to make the quizzes that go inside the puzzle boards, the slide-based puzzle boards, as well as the challenge objects. So you can build those quizzes using that online URL. Basically what you're going to do is you're going to wear the scorekeeper, and anybody who plays your game is going to wear a scorekeeper, and then you will create a series of objects, and in those objects you will place the scripts, or you can use the default objects. In many cases you may find that the default objects are sufficient for your needs. So let me open up the inventory here, and I'll show you that the first item is actually the scorekeeper HUD. So I'm going to right click on the scorekeeper HUD and choose Where, and you'll see that the scorekeeper HUD appears for me. Now I'm done with this tutorial, so I'm going to let that go, and you can see that now I have my scorekeeper HUD available to me up here in the upper left hand corner. It's giving me some information about the GameKit and telling me what I need to do. Alright, so that HUD is actually going to track my current score in the game. And if I just click on the HUD, it'll tell me how many tokens I have, how many prizes I've earned, and what my total points are for the game thus far. I can then, for example, take a sample token and drag it out here and just drop it into the world anywhere I'd like. Okay? Now, you can have as many copies of the sample token as you want. Obviously, you'll place them all over your sim. Now, it may be that you like this token style, that you want to have little spinning diamonds, that sort of thing. Then everything is good. But in the event that you don't, you simply right-click on the token, and then if you wish to create tokens in your sim which are some other thing, maybe you want spinning coins, or maybe you want something that's specific to the theme or the notion of your game, you can simply take these 3 scripts and select them, these 2 scripts in this config file, copy them over into your inventory simply by dragging and dropping, then select your new object and drag and drop those back into that new object. Okay? So very quickly, all you have to do is drag them over into your inventory, remember where you put them, create a new object or put a new object there, then drag them back into the object, and you'll be finished. Now, let's assume that you're going to use the diamond, but you want to change its properties. Just double-click on the config file. Now, maybe you, for example, don't like the little particles. You can see here the line that says the token should use particles, true or false. Right now it's set to true. We'll just change that to false. Okay. Maybe you would like, rather than for it to say nice find, these tokens will help you on your path, you'd like it to say, wow, I wrote this myself. Okay? Once you're done, simply save the changes that you made and close the note card, and then close the edit dialog. Now, because we've made some changes, we need to reload the note card configuration. We'll just open local chat and we'll type /3 and hit return, and you can see that the token is now resetting itself. Okay? Now, you may want to reset the channel for the basic reset functionality. If you do that, you'll need to take the token back into inventory and re-res it so that it can get that note card loaded. But as you can see, we've loaded up the basic information, and now we can click, and when we do that, we can see the message, wow, I wrote this myself. Now, in the event that you used the scorekeeper script in an object like a badge that the character was wearing, instead of appearing on a HUD, since obviously they wouldn't be wearing a HUD, that information, while I wrote this myself, would appear down in the local chat, so that person would get that there. You can see here that I acquired the tokens based on the points that I had, 3 points. I can do that over and over again, amusing myself, changing the number of tokens that are acquired, and so on, right? So that's the basic sample